Warthog, the resilience of the underestimated. Across the African savannah, where the powerful are always named first, one species endures without relying on speed or imposing stature. The warthog moves close to the ground, quiet and resilient. It does not command the plains, yet it is seldom edged out of the harsh rhythm that shapes this landscape. Its rough appearance makes the warthog easy to overlook in a land of claws and sharp tusks. Yet that seemingly ungainly body holds a remarkably effective survival strategy. There is no panic and no grand display. The warthog survives by understanding its limits and never exceeding them. In the wild, every step is a calculation. The warthog does not compete to be the strongest. It chooses to sustain a steady rhythm, avoid needless errors, and always keep a clear path of retreat. That is how a prey species can survive for a very long time on the savannah. Meet the warthog. It is especially fond of rolling in muddy wallows across the savannah. This behavior, known as mud bathing, helps protect the skin from ticks and other parasites. Although they may appear dirty, warthogs are surprisingly clean animals. The coating of mud also allows them to regulate their temperature in the heat of the day. But in the hottest months, the savannah turns more unforgiving than ever. The African sun beats down fiercely, leaving the mud wallows completely dry. Warthogs find themselves exposed as clouds of insects surround them, causing persistent discomfort. Even their thick skin does not readily adjust to such demanding circumstances. Under such strain, mongooses arrive at precisely the right time, providing a clever solution for the warthog. Mongooses hunt insects in groups and possess an insatiable appetite. In sizable numbers, they need a steady and plentiful food source. The warthog inadvertently becomes a magnet for insects, though its height makes reaching them anything but easy. So the more astute warthogs learn to lower themselves when the mongoose troop appears. The message is clear. The mongoose spa is open. Once the gap closes, the mongooses attend to the most difficult areas to reach. The warthog finds relief, while the mongooses feast well. A rare example of mutual benefit on the savannah. Shift to a hungry lion's, the most severe threat on the savannah. An easy meal not only sustains the pride's strength, but also serves as a vivid lesson for the cubs observing each movement. The approach is filled with clear expectation. Yet this selected target may not be as easily subdued as it first appears. The approach unfolds in absolute silence. Each step is measured, each gaze directed at the same target. This is not a moment of showmanship, but the quiet accumulation of pressure. The cubs are observing, and the duty to sustain the pride is clearly present. On the savannah, time seldom sides with the hesitant. The contest between two athletes intensifies, driving footsteps ripping through the quiet of the savannah as the distance rapidly shrinks. The warthog halts and turns to confront the advancing lioness. No flight and no fear. It lowers its stance, tusks pointed firmly forward. In that moment, the savannah appears to hold its breath. This is no longer a pursuit, but a trial of nerve and boundaries. The result does not play out as the lioness anticipates. The warthog, possessing far greater strength than its build implies, calls upon its ultimate defense. A firm step forward, and its sharp tusks form a line that cannot be breached. Confronted by such determination, the hungry pride withdraws. On the savannah, resolve can at times turn the tide. The warthog does not depart the savannah after that encounter. It carries on across a demanding land where every misstep leaves a trace. It requires no grand triumph, only the strength to hold its position. Its lasting survival is not built on one clash, but on the capacity to maintain its rhythm through countless recurring challenges. On the African savannah, it is not necessarily the swiftest or the strongest that survive the longest. The warthog knows this well. It does not strive to surpass others or attempt to dominate. Instead, it steers clear of needless risks, maintains a safe distance, and responds only when driven to its utmost limit. In the unforgiving dry season, when the savannah is depleted of its usual food supply, the warthog adapts its diet with notable flexibility. It digs up roots, seeks out dry tubers, and feeds on nutrient-poor grasses. Through this ability to adapt, the warthog continues to endure in areas where many other grazing species are compelled to leave. While foraging, the warthog frequently drops onto its front knees, a posture seldom observed among hoofed mammals. The joints in its forelegs have evolved to support weight effectively, enabling the body to lower with minimal energy use. As a result, the warthog can feed close to the ground for extended periods without tiring its neck. The kneeling stance not only enables the warthog to access the lowest food sources, but also illustrates how it conserves energy in a landscape that is perpetually demanding. When each movement requires consideration, limiting expenditure becomes essential. Through these modest yet consistent adaptations, the warthog sustains a steady rhythm through successive dry seasons. Yet on the savannah, adaptation seldom means complete safety. From the dense scrub, a familiar figure appears in silence. The leopard is neither noisy nor rushed. It observes quietly, dissolving into the tones of sun-scorched grass, a long-known danger, but never diminished in its threat. The encounter takes place in silence. The warthog feels the presence before it properly glimpses the hidden form. The leopard moves in gradually, its gaze fixed on the slightest motion. There is no unnecessary sound, only two steady breaths running side by side in a charged moment, where each decision demands absolute consideration. The standoff is resolved by instinct alone. The warthog responds at once, lowering its body and standing firm. There is no panic and no delay. It transforms alertness into a distinct boundary. Confronted by such determination, the leopard retreats. Once more, the warthog demonstrates that survival is not reserved solely for predators. The warthog's strength is found not in its build or speed, but in its ability to read a situation and react at the proper moment. Subtle intelligence, joined with instincts refined through time, gives rise to remarkable moments. On the savannah, it is wisdom that enables a smaller species to hold its ground against much larger dangers. The warthog's curved tusks are not simply an identifying trait, but a 10 out of 10 defense uniquely suited to this species. Sharp enough to intimidate, sturdy enough to maintain distance, and accurate enough to turn the tide when pressed. On the savannah, very few prey animals carry a defensive instrument so efficient and well-formed. The warthog does not pursue conflict, yet it stands ready when driven into a corner. Across each demanding season, it secures its place on the land. Neither the swiftest nor the most powerful, but furnished with precisely what is required. At times, one fitting defense is sufficient to sustain a lasting story of survival. The migrants. The great journey of wild Africa. At the heart of wild Africa, the savannah unfolds like an endless ocean of gold, where the wind brings the scent of red dust and stories yet to be told. The sun lifts, pouring light over fractured plains, stirring a land that survives on the boundary between hunger and hope. And today, a journey begins, one that will challenge even those who rule this place. Through the extended dry season, the savannah shifts its character with each passing day. The final traces of water narrow into muddy smears, compelling countless creatures to abandon familiar ground. Predators and prey alike share the same longing for new life. And within this sweeping movement, the footprints of a lion pride sink into the hardened soil. They head for the horizon, where whispers of water drift on the wind. Yet to get there, the whole pride must face the dry season's most perilous obstacle, a river guarded by unseen ambush. Under the quiet growl of land and sky, the first test lies in wait. Gentle splashes ripple through the savannah's quiet, announcing that the river is near. But what appears to offer life also hides a silent threat. Beneath the cloudy water, subtle vibrations, like measured breaths, betray another presence lying in wait. With each cautious step, the pride senses tension tightening across the air. Within the gently stirring shadows of the water, cold golden eyes open, studying those about to enter its territory. The crocodile, Africa's master of ambush, remains perfectly still, as though blended into the river. That silence deepens the unease of the surface, a muted signal that the meeting ahead may be unavoidable. The lion pride halts at the riverbank, watching a surface that appears still, yet carries unseen risk. They know the crocodiles remain hidden beneath the cloudy water. Warm wind drifts across the dry plains, pressing the pride onward. Between hesitation and the pull of survival, they ready themselves to enter a test that will decide their path. As the pride starts to enter the cloudy water, one cub lags behind. The surface stirs, betraying motion from beneath, and the elongated shadow of a crocodile slips quietly nearer. The river seems to hold its breath, while fear flashes in the cub's eyes, with danger just a few moments away. In a moment balanced on survival, the lioness surges back through the current, throwing up bursts of white spray. Her roar tears across the river, making the crocodile falter. Confronted by such determination, the ambusher withdraws into deeper water. The cub shivers as it draws close to the pride, and the river settles once more into its usual stillness. At last, waterlogged paws step onto the far bank, where warm, dry earth greets the pride with the softer breath of the evening breeze. They settle among scattered grasses, breathing heavily after a perilous passage. In this rare pocket of peace, they recover their strength before the long journey that still awaits. As the river absorbs the last traces of the confrontation, the crocodile retreats silently to its familiar waters. Hunger draws it deeper into the murky mud, scanning for any hint of life. Then nature provides a rare gift, the slowly drifting body of an old hippo, sufficient to feed the river's most patient hunter. As the sun slips below the glowing red horizon, the river returns to its ageless stillness. Here, life and risk travel together, and every creature moves on with a story of its own. The water continues to flow, silently composing new chapters for the coming season, as though no conflict had ever occurred. Not far from where the lion pride has faced its recent test, the earth quivers under footsteps, reaching all the way to the horizon. A wildebeest herd is beginning its yearly migration, tracing the river that still holds the echoes of a fierce struggle for survival. They flow like another living current of the savannah, seeking new grass and the remaining water after the unforgiving dry season. Following an ancient rhythm carved into instinct, the wildebeest slowly assemble into dark, sinuous lines across the plains. They sense that the dry season has reached its threshold, and that only migration can sustain life. One group links to the next like living veins, moving towards the promised ground beyond. Ahead, the wildebeest herd finds its route cut off by the same river that still holds the memory of a perilous pursuit. Beneath a surface that seems gentle, unseen dangers remain in quiet watch. Instinct drives them onward, but with each step towards the water's edge, the whole herd senses the challenge rising before them. Then a handful of individuals jump in without warning, triggering a strong ripple across the herd. One by one, the others follow, transforming the riverbank into a swirl of spray and movement, ushering in a demanding river crossing that begins the next stage of their journey. The churning water raised by hundreds of jumps also rouses a predator newly replenished. Following the unexpected feast from the hippo carcass, the crocodile becomes more agile, more driven. It leaves its shelter in silence, gliding through the cloudy water with unyielding purpose, resolved to transform this crossing into a fresh chance to hunt. Within the churning flow, the herd's changing lines create perfect openings for the crocodile to drive through. From the depths, it rises without warning, breaking the river's surface in a surge of movement. The wildebeest spread out, each animal forcing forward against the racing current, while the predator locks onto its focus in a critical moment with no way back. Amid the chaos of the river, the crocodile's forceful sweep finally pulls one wildebeest beneath the cloudy water. The encounter concludes quickly, as nature has done for millions of years. As the splashing subsides, the river reclaims its rule, reminding us that here, life is always shaped by an inescapable price. As the river continues to hold the memory of the perilous pursuit, most of the wildebeest herd has made it to the opposite bank. Their bodies are drenched, breathing hard, eyes still shaken yet steady with determination. With firm ground beneath their hooves once more, they gather themselves and press on, as though this were merely one of migration's necessary tests. Before the wildebeest herd, new ground unfolds like a quiet promise after long days of risk. Fresh green grass stretches beneath mellow light, bringing with it the fragrance of life just renewed. Here they find a short moment of peace, letting their bodies recover before the migration draws them onward once more. Not far from the young grass where the wildebeest briefly regain their calm, the well-known steps of the lion pride move into new ground. They have made it across the perilous river, yet nature never ceases its trials. In a world where predator and prey live side by side, the delicate balance is once more brought into question. Across churning rivers, sunburnt plains, and unending migrations, Africa reveals itself as a realm where life never stands still. Every creature, hunter or hunted, adds its own beat to the great harmony of this land. All persist through resilience and through a boundless ability to adapt. Here, danger is not an exception. It is the essence of existence. From the roar of lions to the dash of gazelles to the quiet movement of crocodiles, every moment holds the potential to alter destiny. Yet it is this severity that gives rise to an unusual beauty, where every creature is forced to find strength in its own way. As the sun drops beyond the glowing red horizon, Africa slips back into the slow, deep breath of night. The cycle carries on, and fresh journeys will start once more with the next dawn. And within that sense of forever, this wild land reminds us that nature moves by its own rules, at once unforgiving and profoundly beautiful. Cape Buffalo, the power of wild Africa. Across a landscape reaching to the very edge of the horizon stands a creature counted among the five that make Africa proceed with caution. With no noise and no show, the Cape Buffalo enters the savannah like a quiet declaration. This is a land it knows and governs in its own way. The most striking feature of the Cape Buffalo is its horns, curved like a horseshoe, widening to either side before shaping a formidable arc. At the center of the forehead, the dense horn plates merge into a boss, a natural armor perfected over millions of years. Even a fleeting look is enough to sense a strength that feels nearly immovable. In the morning light, the curve of its horns casts a cool, metallic glint. Yet the Cape Buffalo's power lies not in how it looks, but in what it represents. This is a species that does not depend on speed or claws to endure. It depends on resilience and on facing every challenge with a calm, grounded stance. The savannah is never free of risk, yet the arrival of Cape Buffalo brings an added tension that's difficult to define. They do not demand attention, but each step quietly alters the land's rhythm. The savannah appears to adjust itself, yielding space to their movement. In a land where each day delivers challenges, from searing heat to nature's unexpected turns, there is a species that requires no claws, yet causes the whole savannah to proceed with caution. With its powerful presence and horns that embody resilience, the Cape Buffalo emerges as an icon of silent authority, a strength that does not seek attention, but is invariably respected. Within the seeming stillness of the savannah at noon, the Cape buffalo herd advances gradually into the ocean of golden grass. There is no obvious sign of what is coming, just a change in the wind and a few blades bending gently. But to those attuned to the breathing rhythm of this land, that small shift is enough to alter the mood of the space. Something out of the ordinary is slowly emerging. In the shimmer of heat lifting from the ground, a faint motion glides along the grass line. So subtle it seems like the wind's own shadow. The Cape buffalo herd stops in unison. Several of the largest move ahead, dipping their heads until the curved horns draw nearer to the soil. No sound breaks the air, but tension radiates in unseen waves. Red dust lifts in waves as the Cape buffalo drive forward with the combined force of the herd. The lions answer with quick, accurate advances, sweeping around like golden flashes across the grassland. The earth quivers softly under both sets of footsteps, each motion firm and purposeful. The savannah ignites in a contest of resolve and resilience. Amid the spinning veil of dust that softens the horizon, the biggest buffalo surge ahead, shaping a firm spearhead that forces back the closing circle. The lions change direction, seeking fresh gaps, their low, agile strides gliding over the warm earth. Both sides continue to adjust and counter, neither prepared to give way, leaving the savannah taut like a drum skin before the moment of decision. As the red dust drifts back to the ground, the balance at last leans one way. The Cape buffalo maintain their formation and advance, pushing the golden figures back into the far grasslands. There is no victorious roar, only the straight, resolute beat of buffalo hooves. The savannah resumes its gentle breathing, marking once more the enduring strength that has held its ground. The Cape buffalo's strength is not just a matter of size, but of a physique shaped to endure and to confront challenge. A wide chest, sturdy legs, and heavy mass enable it to apply powerful pressure that can shift the savannah's rhythm. This is the foundation that allows buffalo to hold the advantage in moments of tension. The Cape buffalo's resolve is most evident in how they confront risk. There is no panic and no disorder. The herd comes together at once, forming a single body with coordination that feels almost instinctive. It is this sense of unity that has helped them overcome countless trials on the wide savannah. What gives Cape buffalo their standing on the savannah is their ability to react with flexibility in every circumstance. When it is time to move forward, they advance with strength. When it is time to hold ground, they stand like pillars. This sense of initiative forces predators to remain wary, considering every step they take. Steadfastness is woven into every movement of the Cape buffalo. However great the pressure, they retain a rare sense of calm. This unwillingness to yield has seen them through countless challenges, establishing them as one of Africa's most formidable forces and giving them an essential role in sustaining the balance of the savanna ecosystem. The temperament of Cape buffalo keeps the savanna wary. The Daga boys that live away from the herd are particularly hard to read, showing little warning before they respond. When paths cross on a narrow trail, one misplaced look can shift the atmosphere. Small head motions, forceful breathing, and rigid muscle-held postures hint at a tension that may rise at any time. On a dry, open patch of ground, two Daga boys meet without warning, tension rising like a cord drawn taut. A single step too near, and both dip their heads, pressing in with the full weight of their frames. The collision carries across the grassland, red dust lifting to soften the horizon. Neither gives way. Every forceful shove measures who deserves to continue along that shared path. At last, the two Daga boys gradually separate, breaths still deep but tension fading from their gaze. There is no victor and no defeat, only boundaries gently re-established between resolute individuals. One veers away, while the other carries on along its chosen path. The savanna settles back into its familiar breathing rhythm, as though the confrontation were merely a natural moment within this wild land. Remarkable endurance is what allows Cape buffalo to remain steady through the most demanding challenges. They can reach speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour, holding a consistent pace despite bodies weighing hundreds of kilos. When force is needed, their entire weight moves forward, strong enough to alter the balance of an encounter. For this reason, Cape buffalo are creatures that even apex predators pause to consider before drawing close. While many species on the savanna undertake long migrations and confront endless challenges, Cape buffalo shift only as the land requires, without sweeping journeys across vast distances. To them, rivers are a familiar test, where ancient power lies concealed beneath cloudy water, patiently awaiting its moment. As the late sun pours across the soft riverbank, the Cape buffalo herd fans out in a calm, measured rhythm. The last golden light of day settles on their sturdy frames, bringing forward the quiet composure that has guided them throughout. Dry grass whispers in the wind, and the herd returns to its familiar way of life, peaceful and grounded, echoing the very nature of the savannah. Each Cape buffalo feels like one fragment in a tapestry of strength that nature has patiently shaped over thousands of years. They do not seek attention, nor do they need to display authority. Simply standing amid the ocean of grass, their presence is enough to make the savannah alter its breathing, granting this species a respect that is deep, quiet, and complete. In the wild, where the boundary between safety and challenge is always delicate, the Cape buffalo maintains its position as one of Africa's 5 most dangerous animals. Not through speed or offensive skill, but through resilience, unpredictability, and a readiness to face any pressure without wavering. As twilight falls across the savannah, the Cape buffalo herd departs the riverbank with composed strides. Their story is not simply one of surviving peril, but a testament to the lasting strength carried within tranquility. And it is this quiet resolve that makes the Cape buffalo a symbol of silent authority in Africa's wild landscape. India, where the forests fold in like an ancient curtain, casting across the earth a layer of shadow, deep and full of life. In that space, a quiet motion glides through the leaves, gentle as breath, yet bearing the weight of something concealed. The usual sounds appear to hold back, and the forest settles into a moment charged with anticipation and mystery. The forests of South Asia are not merely darkness and trees. They form a living maze, where sambar deer tread softly, as though aware of something unseen. 3 wild buffalo raise their heads to catch strange sounds. Langur monkeys stand guard in the canopy, and innumerable small creatures shift beneath the leaf litter. Every forest layer functions like a refined empire, sustaining the ancient breathing rhythm of nature. From cold streams winding through bamboo forests to valleys tucked behind rocky hills, South Asia's wilderness opens into a vast realm where every inch belongs to a silent ruler. Each tree, each tuft of grass is marked by scent from passing patrols. In this apparent stillness, every movement carries both opportunity and danger, poised to be resolved. In the depths of the forest, the tiger does not depend on speed like a cheetah, nor on pack strategy like wild dogs. Its strength lies in complete silence. Each step is set down as though it can sense the prey's heartbeat. The tiger succeeds by leaving its rival unaware of what has just unfolded. The tiger's strength is not found in muscle alone. It watches, committing to memory every pathway, every current of wind, every herd that moves through. The tiger understands the forest as the forest understands it. Every hunt becomes a strategic puzzle, and patience is the weapon that makes it a silent ruler. Inside the silence the tiger controls, a coarse sound breaks from the lower leaves. Earth being disturbed, labored breaths. Then a dark gray form comes into view. A sloth bear, the only creature in this forest daring enough not to step aside for a tiger. Two paths crossing by coincidence. In a sunburnt clearing where red dust blankets the ground, two powers collide by chance. The tiger launches like a flash of lightning, predatory instinct steering every move. The sloth bear startles, wheels around, and races for the sparse shade of the forest edge. It does not seek confrontation, only space to keep its own corner of woodland. In that moment, the whole landscape appears to still, as if the land itself were holding its breath. Dust whirls into the air as the two rivals draw close, both unleashing strong, purposeful motions. The sloth bear applies pressure, while the tiger remains agile, waiting for an opening. Growls and roars drift with the warm wind, transforming the clearing into a place where resolve and the boundaries of survival instinct are revealed. As the red dust continues to hover above the ground, another dark form suddenly charges in, entering the scene with determined intent. Two sloth bears unite, building a powerful pressure that tilts the balance. Realizing it no longer holds the advantage, the tiger withdraws wisely, slipping along the fringe of golden grass and escaping the closing ring. Against the golden grass, still unsettled by the short confrontation, the tiger stops in the shade and glances back at the clearing behind. Not a failure, but the decision of one who understands the worth of strength and time. In the deep forest, survival favors those who know when to pause, so they may carry on their journey. Although it lives mostly in forests, the tiger is one of the planet's finest swimming big cats. It slips through the water like a deliberate current, eyes set on the opposite bank, selecting the safest path forward. Deep pools can at times offer an advantage, enabling the tiger to extend its range without direct confrontation. Few realize that tigers have highly sophisticated spatial memory. They remember every broken log, every stand of bamboo, every pathway they have taken. When the forest shifts after the rains, the tiger still finds its former routes, as though guided by a map in its mind. Through this, it understands every advantage of the land it inhabits. The forest may sound chaotic, yet to the tiger it all follows a quiet order. It can detect the steps of a small animal beneath fallen leaves, or the soft breath of a creature concealed behind the trees. This exceptional talent for filtering sound enables the tiger to decide swiftly, without needing to see what waits in front. The tiger does not communicate with sound, but with scent. Rather than carving claw marks, it often rests beneath a tree, allowing its body scent to sink into the coarse bark. These scent traces form a quiet communication line through the forest, enabling individuals to avoid needless confrontation and allowing the ecosystem to function in its natural balance. Despite its fierce reputation, the tiger is calm for most of its life. It does not squander energy on needless pursuits. The tiger can sit for hours beside the riverbank, observing the forest as it shifts at a gentle pace. This steadiness is the key that allows it to judge risk, preserve strength, and endure through even the toughest seasons. In a forest that feels without end, there are unseen borders only the tiger can perceive. A strange scent emerges on the bark, newer and deeper than before. It is not a cautious probe, but a statement from another presence advancing towards the center of the territory. The forest's tranquility slowly changes tone. Two solitary beings, each driven by the instinct to protect their ground, move closer with every stir of the wind. A fleeting change in the wind is all it takes to release tensions long contained. Both tigers rush forward at once, not to cause injury, but to gauge strength and confirm their standing in this forest. The ground quivers softly with each shove, each forceful yet measured motion, like two streams of energy exploring each. Among the spiraling movements of two orange-striped forms, a sudden stillness appears. One tiger slows, not out of weakness, but from sensing the advantage leaning away. Its eyes change, resolve retreating to make room for clarity. In the forest, bravery is not only about pressing on, but about knowing when to soften the pressure, to prevent a drawn-out encounter that goes further than intended. As the tension fades into the wind, one tiger retreats, turning towards the thick bamboo forest and leaving the clearing for its rival to keep. There is no victor or defeat, only a decision guided by timing. In a world where every step is bound to survival, power does not always come from taking ground, but from the ability to remain clear-minded through nature's challenges. As the two tigers separate, quiet gradually settles back over the canopy. Shafts of sunlight slip through the leaves, illuminating dust that still hangs in the air. Familiar sounds return: woodland birds, leaves moving softly in the wind. The encounter fades into a brief instant within a much wider rhythm of life. The forest is not ruled by tigers alone. It shelters countless other lives. Langurs observe from the canopy. Sambar herds tread carefully along the woodland edge. And tiny creatures beneath the fallen leaves continue their quiet labor. Everything exists in a delicate balance, where each species plays a vital part. The tiger may sit at the summit of the hunting chain, yet it is not the focus of all motion. As it bends to drink from the shallow stream, the surface ripples softly before returning to stillness. A frightened bird takes flight. All other movements carry on, as though the forest had paused for a moment, simply to witness the encounter. From the largest animal to the smallest creature, all are linked by delicate relationships that are difficult to see with the naked eye. Tigers prevent grazing herds from becoming excessive. Young growth gains space to emerge, and streams are safeguarded from erosion. Lose one species, and the whole forest starts to shift. As twilight falls across the canopy, the tiger moves along the trail like the last shadow of the day. In each step lies stillness, quiet pride, and an invisible responsibility placed by nature. The forest survives through these shared rhythms of breath. And in this constantly shifting world, the tiger is not merely a predator, but a symbol of the balance that nature seeks to hold.